I can't wait to see you go off again. I'm going to be cheering from here in Australia,
God
don't you
bless
worry.
you. I need to be careful because in my enthusiasm, some people might think that I'm overdoing it, and it's not that. I'm just happy, just happy to play.
Was it last year you had like 7 instruments on stage with you?
Seven Jaws and the Medley. I'll keep the surprise for this year because I'm playing in more than the medley. Believe it or not, I'm very shy. If I had to learn how to navigate my environment,
The Flute Guy term, when did you first hear it? And what was your
that's
reaction?
such a funny story, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, look who we have here this evening. Pedro, it is a pleasure and honor, man. Thank you for coming on the show. How are you today? How are you
My
feeling?
pleasure to be here, Dan. My apologies for taking so long time to respond to you when you reached out the first time. It is my pleasure to be here. Is in Los Angeles, where I live. This is my home. It's 2 days before the big day, so
Yeah.
you have the exclusive interview 1 day before, my dear. So my pleasure to be here.
Man,
Thank you. Thank you for having me with you.
I can't wait to see you go off again.
Oh,
I'm going
God
to be
bless you.
cheering from here in Australia,
God
don't you
bless
worry.
you, brother. I need to be careful because in my enthusiasm, some people might think that I'm overdoing it, and it's not that. I'm just happy, just happy to play. I'm a realist. Listen. I'm not an actor. I could never act. I would be miserable if I had to. I just feel happy. And you know what? I told that to Lorne, Balfe, the composer. I told him, your music makes me play like this.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel it's a very reactive thing. I feel like I'm a train over railroad. It's like the railroad is his music, and when cha 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 cha, I cannot play cha cha cha. I would die. Had a heart attack.
No, I 100% agree. So you get excited for this every year it comes around?
Listen, I get excited at every single opportunity God blesses me with. And let me tell you something. It feels very strange, Dan, because people that know me and know me well know that I might be a contrast, character wise, personality wise. I'm very la 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 like that, but at the same time, I'm very, believe it or not, I'm very shy. If I had to learn how to navigate my my environment to do what I do,
Really?
you see. But by nature, what got me into music was the experiencing of it, not the show off thing. I don't show off. I don't play for people. I play for the creator because I'm incredibly happy to be alive. And tell you the truth, um, every time there's stuff I cannot control. You see, it's and this is something that is so powerful because it's a verse that says, "Joy of the Lord is my strength." I'm strong because of that. I resonate. And I told that to Lorne as well. It's amazing that every single year he gets to me. How does he do that? I don't understand. How can you do a medley with completely different games, completely different tunes, completely different melodies, and yet he succeeds at doing that? And it's like, man, you got a gift. He has a special gift.
I feel like he kind of caters to you as well. Would that be correct in saying that?
I
Or
don't. I think you have to ask him.
yeah.
But I think he was the original one. I've been doing this what 7 years now, something like that. So when he came up with the theme, I wasn't in the picture. They didn't
Oh,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Flute Guy came afterwards, and we can talk about that later. And the branding.
The
I
branding
didn't
you had
ask
no
for
idea
that.
about. Yeah.
I didn't ask for that. I didn't. That's not on my doing. The gamers came up with that, and I can tell you the story later if you're interested in.
Of course.
But yeah, I don't know if he catered. Of course, after the flute guy got established, they think about me and they give me, Pedro, you can solo here, you can play the melody here, there, do whatever instrument which is amazing that they allow me the freedom to choose what to play. You know, so I'm very excited to do this.
Was it last year you had like 7 instruments on stage with you? Have I got that right?
Well, seven Jaws and the medley. I'll keep I'll keep the surprise for this year because I'm playing in more than the medley, but I don't know how relevant or not the other things will be. My presence might be just decorative in there, but I cannot reveal yet because under contractual stuff I
Yeah, of
cannot
course, of course.
share
Yeah.
before the event what it is I'm going to do. But this I can tell you: some things I have been requested by gamers that I really feel I had to use, but there are new things that nobody's ever heard me do ever before.
Wow.
And one of them, shut up, Pedro.
I'm just excited as you, man.
You will see it, bro. You'll see it because again, there are no coincidences. Something extremely new came,
Yeah.
and boom. That's all I can say.
So the flute guy term, when did you first hear it? And what was your
That
reaction?
is such a funny story, man. I don't remember exactly the year. Was it 3 or 4 years?
Was it 22?
Something like that, I
Mm.
believe. And I'll tell you exactly which one was it. When I finished playing, I was so happy because this is a funny thing people don't understand. It's a very long day for us to be there,
Oh, really?
and I wanted to go home. As we finish the thing, it's like it's a long, long, long day, long event. Hours. Staying there and whatnot. And when you finish, like, yeah, finally, I'm done with this. I'm going home. I'm happy. And people went like, look at him, how he's happy, this and that. And when I arrived, I pack my things. I go in my car, and we leave the place. The Peacock Theater. I arrive because that's downtown Los Angeles. I arrive home because I live in the suburbs. I just happened to open something like that, and in Instagram, the gamers say, "Hey man, you better open up your X. You burning the internet. You going viral." I go like, what the heck? And then it's when I saw like, who's this guy? This guy's crazy. Flute guy, flute guy. So somebody came up with flute guy because they didn't know who the heck I was. They didn't know my name or anything. Just like, look at that guy is crazy. And they started doing, videos, stages like, look, he's excited. Look, now he's gonna change it. Look at his face. Now he's jumping. Oh my gosh, that thing looks like a bazooka. And contrabass, the contrabass flute. That looks like a bazooka. And it's like, and I go like, what the heck? And when I saw this thing exploded, it was like a volcano that erupted. And the funniest thing is that the sons and daughters of the people I work with, like
They knew.
Hans's associate daughter, were like, and Hans's son, one of them saying, "Hey man, that's a friend. He works with my dad. Hans, he works with like his name is Pedro Eustache. You guys, he plays in all these movies and this and that." So for that, the gamers was the first time I ever do that. These guys know me since I've been doing this for 30 years. And
Yeah,
it's
I
like
know.
the funniest thing because that's when it became, and some people get offended. It's like, you should not be called Flute Guy because that's, and I don't care, heck, because it's flute dude, flute man, flute guy. The beauty of this is that I didn't look for this.
Yeah.
I did not strategize for this.
You did.
I simply showed up and did what I do. The greatest musician that ever existed, Johann Sebastian Bach, said that music has a twofold purpose. Music exists to glorify God and to sublimate, to elevate the human soul. And again, after being through tragedy, horrible loss, we lost our daughter to brain cancer many years ago. She was little, 3 years and 9 months, and she died in our arms. I'm not playing the victim here or manipulating. I'm speaking it's a very heavy thing. And to have been rescued by the amazing grace of God. something I cannot escape from them. So whenever I take a breath, it's a miracle for me. I should not be here. We almost jumped into an abyss, my wife and I. And we felt this heavy hand stop us and bring us back from that edge. Man, Jesus real to me. You see, I'm not proselytizing. I'm not selling ideology.
Oh, that's your real life experience.
Yeah, exactly. I speak from a personal experience. And play, I always was very positive playing. That's not new. But after that, it became, and some people might be affected because man, again, he's overdoing it. He's jumping too much. Listen, I'm just happy. I cannot stand there like I'm a dead person because I'm alive. I'm not dead. And even when I record, people can go and see my posts. You know, I'm recording for Zootopia 2. I'm doing an improvised solo, and I'm dancing my soul out.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
And it's in Warner Brothers, you know, with all these microphones. And I'm like, and I'm not being seen by anyone. I didn't even know that my wife was videotaping me. That's how real this is to me. I'm not acting. So whoever misinterprets me or doesn't get me, I'm sorry. I'm not making this to gain your favor or to overshadow anyone else or to be in the screen so the screen can pick me up. No. Sorry, screw that. I'm like that in my house. When I record here, I go and I get teary when something moves me in the presence of just God's spirit and me. That's it. So I hope that helps responding a little bit of this.
Well, sorry to get deep here, but what is your relationship with death now?
Literally, I know where I'm going. Because this is what happens. Death is a door. You see, I am deeply convinced that our souls are eternal. The question I ask people is, where would our souls spend eternity? I have decided to accept God's gift through Jesus dying at the cross. Whatever pain, whatever challenges, whatever anything I face at this realm, this will end someday. You see, the pain of the separation from our daughter, it's been 37 years and it feels like it was yesterday. Last Saturday she would have turned 41. Imagine that. I could have been or a great, grandpa. My point is, it feels she's her baby and she's still in our hearts a baby, and it feels like that to us. And the thing is, literally, I know that whatever pain we can go through in this realm, this is temporary. Eternity is limitless. And I cannot wait then. Not that I'm going to go do something against my life. No. I mean, I'm in God's timing. But He knows when my time will come. I just happen to know. I have the profound conviction of I know where I'm going to go. And I cannot wait to see our daughter again and spend eternity in the presence of the creator of the universe. Man, I think I'm going to fly, man. I'm so, God, I want to fly. Yeah! I want to go to Gaminides and look at that thing. I want to see your incredible... Because this is what people think. They think that, this horrible stereotype of heaven being people in dress in white and little wings and playing a little harp. That looks more like hell to me than heaven. It's like, I don't think so. I don't want you can have that. I think it's going to be, I know it's going to be a place full of meaning and purpose and fulfillment. Listen, Dan, when people share with their dog, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
When I share with my wife, bro, it's like more than 45 years married. We're like two teenagers. It's like we sleep like this every night. It's like amazing. Do you imagine having a relationship one-on-one with the creator of everything that exists forever? Heaven is so real and so powerful that not even eternity will exhaust it, bro.
How was your relationship with your wife? Did it get stronger after the passing
It's
of
a
your daughter?
miracle. It's a great question, Dan. It's a miracle because it's a miracle at three levels. Physically, we're alive. We talked about that already.
Hmm.
Second, we are together as a couple, stronger than ever, and because the numbers sociologists say that the stats are something like 90% of couples that go through this get a divorce
Wow.
because it's too heavy, and we understand them. Listen, I had a colleague whose uncle committed suicide after he lost his my colleague's a cousin, and I told my colleague, listen, I understand your uncle, um, and so that's a second miracle, that we're stronger than ever because we have faith. And number three, it's a miracle because humanly speaking, we could have said God abandoned us.
Mm.
But for us, it's exactly the opposite.
Opposite.
Listen,
Yep.
Dan, there's a passage, and that's why I have so much comfort reading the good book. The first verse of chapter 57 of Isaiah says that people don't understand that in God's mercy, He sometimes takes good people with Him. And He does that because He's sparing them from horrible pain that would have happened otherwise. That gives me great comfort because only He knows what it is. He spared a beautiful, 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 wonderful, innocent daughter. If she would have stayed with us, that could have been so horrible that God said, listen, let me take her now. You guys will suffer, but you'll be okay. And that gives us so much peace. And there's another passage that says that nothing, 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 not even death nor life, nothing can separate us from the love of God, which is in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And Dan, one thing is to read something on the paper, another thing is to live it in your heart.
Well said, man. Well said.
Thank you, dear.
So back to the Game Awards. You've done it for the last 7 years. Do you have a favorite of?
That's a great question. Maybe as of now, you see, all of them are great, are fantastic. Something happened in the last year, and 24. I don't know if it was because I was playing something else besides a flute. It was the Suona from China, in
For Black Myth.
Wukong.
Yeah, for Black Myth
Yeah.
Wukong.
That's a double reed from China called the Suona,
Mm.
and that refreshed me in a way that was a little bit unusual in the context of Game Awards. If I might pick one, I would probably say last year's. But this year's going to be fabulous. You guys will see.
Is that an instrument you use often? The one for Black Myth?
No, not often. Many of my instruments I use when necessary. When it happens, and I use it while I was touring with Hans in China, because my wife's is brilliant. Sarah, my beautiful wife, she says, Papi, beginning the show, you play this thing from Spain called the Dulzaina, which is like a zurna. You go to China, why don't you play with the Suona? I say, of course, because it's the same family. So we start playing, and we play the fanfare of Dune, which is when they arrive at Arrakis, and then there's bagpipes and the fanfare. I played 9 zurnas for that. 9.
9?
Yes, 3 high, 3 in the middle, and 3 low. And Hans keeps saying that it is Godfrey who played the guitar. I know what I played. I'm not going to argue. I played 9 of those. Anyways, so of course I played with the Suona when he came, and it's funny because we started the show with that, and I played Suona, and then when I finished, I put it up and I screamed to the people in China, Suona, and they were crazy. And I don't know if you saw, I did one of my. We're gonna talk about this because I'm not touring with Hans anymore. That's important. I need to share.
Why not? You should be.
Because I'm concentrating on my solo activity.
Oh, well, that's even better.
It's about time. I'm a composer as well. I'm a soloist. This season was amazing. It was more than 8 years doing this thing with Hans, and I believe in seasons. And God has confirmed me from here to the moon, bro, in amazing confirmations. So you were blessed to witness my last extent with Hans on tour. I'm still his wind soloist, you know.
On
Thanks to
his
some of
on
his
his
features. No,
soundtracks.
you're for recording and everything and
Yeah.
projects. You're my soloist. I simply cannot keep going on the road, you know, for 3 months and leave my wife and my activity. It's been too long. Listen, Dan, the last 2 times, Maestro John Williams called me for Star Wars. I couldn't do it because I was on tour with Hans. So as grateful as I am,
yeah, yeah.
and I still keep doing things for him. In September, last September, I was in London with him doing stuff that I posted also in my social media, playing the cello flute for this MOBA game called Honor of Kings.
Oh, that's a great track. I love that
Yeah,
track.
you see, and Hans wrote the theme, and his team wrote this thing, write this thing, and I played this one, and I flew me to London to play with him. So that tells you I'm still in his loop as a soloist. I'm his main recording
Just for
soloist.
the tour,
I just cannot keep touring the way. I'm not 15 anymore, and I don't know how long I have in this earth. We speak about and I don't know if you saw my first thing because I have a series, man. Danny Daher, my manager, man. This guy's a genius, man. This guy, I cannot bless him. I cannot thank God enough for somebody that is brilliant like this. It's sad, and he helped me design this whole thing called the Pedro. Let's do your solo series video thing. So we have one already out, which is Black Myth Wukong. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
And I played not only the Swana at the end, but I played the bass Swana right before that as well. So it's
you need to do more of those videos, Pedro.
There are 5 more coming.
Okay, good. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Man.
But let me tell you this: we're already working at the set. That's a surprise. Danny, I'm sorry, I screwed up. Danny Daher already announced. we have a new one coming soon, but there's Game Awards. Then there is something coming after Game Awards that I cannot think about that I need to put out there. So as soon as we can, we will put the second one. There's a lot coming, and there's solo things coming next year. I have a band already. I have a whole show together. It's like.
So, are you going to tour with yourself? How is that going to work?
Willing, yes.
Oh. Man.
I will let you know, bro. And God gave me the music already, and I am so excited.
Oh man, that sounds so good.
I have a wonderful, wonderful group with me. It's not a big thing at all. I don't need it to be big. I need simply to have a platform that I can exercise my thing. And I'm not gonna say more details. That's all I'm gonna leave you with. But you're the first person I'm being interviewed that I shared this with.
Oh, I can't wait. I think when you perform that Dune soundtrack, and I did heaps with Hans when I saw you earlier this year, I had a tear down my eye, man. It was so beautiful. And you'd played that so many times, But
let me tell you something, Dan. That is the power of art. That is the power of music.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, people like Hans, like Lorne, like so many, John Williams, John Powell, John Dedney. If I start, Jermaine Franco, if I start, I would not finish. James Newton Howard. So many of them.
Yeah, I know.
Mark Mancina, they have this gift.
Oh, yeah.
Then that's not normal. Hans is super genius, bro. Super genius. That's like. So it is. When I'm asked to play something, you see, that's the absolute contrast to my jumping when I'm doing, Game of the Year medley. You saw me, I'm very quiet, and because this is something that is, and I played with an instrument that nobody else has in the world. I have to modify my already modified Armenian duduk to be able to play that thing, because the extension of the melody was so low that I had to modify my duduk in order to be able to play those low notes. Of course, you could do that with a normal duduk with a key on it. I don't want a key. I want to be able to actuate that with my fingers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have just for the pinky, I had something like 4 holes or something like that. You see that's the power of that thing is I go to a place,
You transport, you really do on the stage.
you know. Then this is gonna be heavy. You might have to cut this interview in two because it's very important, heavy stuff that we sharing for just half hour. Um, there's something very deep called musical phenomenology. Okay, this is the science that searches to objectivize the laws that rule the evolution of sound in function of our consciousness. In other words, this is the discipline that deals with how we can experience music and how, when under certain circumstances, sound can affect our consciousness into transcendence.
Uh,
That's a culprit right there. That's a culprit. I live, I breathe, I exist to worship God. That is the greatest call. The thing to share that experience with you guys, the audience, proves there that art is an objective experience, not a subjective experience. There is a philosopher called Husserl who coined a term called transcendental intersubjectivity that proves that experiencing art or experiencing music is an objective experience. And you just said it. When I play Dune and you guys resonate with me and you had that tear, you left your subjectivity. I left mine and we met with 15,000 other people at this common place and we are one. That is, I want to cry, bro. That is so
that it
powerful,
it
bro.
feels like that, man. It
You
really
see,
does.
you see, there.
Yeah. You've put it perfectly. Yeah. And it's not just the Dune soundtrack. I mean, you're in the whole show. Um,
But that, you
Lion
see, that.
King with Lebo, unbelievable.
But I become African because I'm playing my kulepuya drum. I'm playing. This is a heavy story, Dan. I was conceived. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela, the capital of Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
My parents came from Haiti, but I was conceived when my father was a medical rural doctor at a beautiful little town on the central coastal part of Venezuela called Barlovento, but on the town of Curiepe, which is where these drums are played, in St. James. I was born in August. I was fully formed in my mama's belly. When these drums were sounding in the town, I heard these drums since I was in my mama's belly before I was born, bro. Can't make this stuff up. So that's why
You can't make it
when
up.
I hear this stuff, I'm gonna like my mom said, but son, you don't know that I heard the drums when you were in my belly. It's like because that was July, 24th of July, and I was born mid August. So I was already formed. My ears were done. So I always had a connection with those drums as well. The flute because of my brother, Maestro Pedro Eustache. That I am a musical product of his incredible genius musical vision. He didn't let me not play music. I hated the violin, but he said, "You gotta play something because you're good at this." So I heard this song from King Crimson called "I Talk to the Wind," a beautiful ballad, and they had this beautiful flute solo on it. And I'm saying, so you can play this cool rock and roll music with the boring. With the instrument, my brother plays a boring classical. Also, stupid me. Of course. Little kid, I'm 13, 14. So, oh, that's boring. Ignorance, of course. And I said, so I can play rock and roll with that instrument that my brother plays. So I decided to play the flute. So it is his fault. And he instilled in me since I was 3 or 4. All these different kinds of music. We went to church. So we had all these incredible traditional hymns. He made me play the cuatro, the Venezuelan cuatro. He made me play the quena, the South American quena. You see? Oops.
Yes.
Okay. And all these things And I started playing the recorder since I was 9. So I'm playing polyphony. We're playing early music, which is medieval music, Renaissance music. He made me play popular Venezuelan music. So I've been exposed to all these things since I'm a kid. And remember, back then there's no computers, there's no internet, there's none of this. So a kid, when you're exposed, he put to us, I remember, Peter and the Wolf of Prokofiev. Amazing piece where it's a beautiful story, but related or shared through a symphony orchestra with a narrator. Imagine that. And then Orchestra Guide to Youth by Benjamin Britten, where they explain the whole orchestra's instrument through a masterpiece. And amazing thing, Dan, look at the connections of this story. But after he introduces all the instruments, he said, now we're going to play them all together. He composed a fugue, which is a form where the greatest exponent of that is J.S. Bach, the greatest composer using fugue and polyphony at that very high level is Bach. Again, nobody can even touch him, not even remotely. Benjamin Britten wrote a fugue that starts with the piccolo flute, then goes to the flute, then goes to the winds, and then like that and everything. When I walked to become a member of the National Youth Orchestra in Venezuela, which is not now known as El Sistema, with Gustavo Dudamel and everything there, I was one of the founder members of that in the late 70s, mid to late 70s. The first thing I'm playing is that fugue that I heard when I was 4. Unfreaking believable. So, the book is like this. The things are, there's no coincidences, bro.
Man, what a pleasure to talk to you today. Last one. What's your relationship with music now versus, say, 30 years ago, and how's it changed over the years?
It's gotten deeper, but the original experience still remains. I wanna obey the reality of how fresh and new the first time I experienced music was to me, and I want to keep that fire going.
Is that where the instrument building comes from, do you think?
The instrument building came out of necessity, number one, or just curiosity. It's like when I was in Paris, one of my 4 teachers, there's 4 geniuses. He's one of the. No, he's the only one alive still. All the other 3 already went to eternity. And that's amazing, Dan. Many people do not know, like, probably the greatest classical symphonic flautist in the world now is the solo principal of Berlin Philharmonic, Emmanuel Pahud.
Wow.
This is my brother. We coincide in 3 of our 4 teachers we had. So
wow.
I come from the same school. And that last teacher I'm mentioning, we both had it. He's such incredible, fantastic mind that he was one of the directors of the IRCAM, which is a center for research to expand capacity for not only electronics but also acoustic instruments. And he took his students, including me, to conferences where acousticians were explaining the acoustics of the flute. I still have upstairs the thesis, like a telephone directory, of Dr. Michel Castellango, who made her doctorate based on studying the flutes. So, his name is Pierre Varton. The first one was Aurèle Nicolet, the biggest one. Then there is Alain Marion. Then there's my beloved Raymond Guillaume, who just died last year. He was 93 when I saw him last time in Paris. I spent 4 hours with him.
Oh, that's special. That's special.
Oh, beyond. I would say probably he was one of my main influences. So, and he played piano jazz and everything. So not only a super classical, he was a soloist at l'Opéra Comique in Paris, but he was a composer and play piano just you play chords and improvise flute and play chords and improvise.
Oh my
So
God.
these are my influences. I'm so freaking, I started with Ravi Shankar. I started with Jivan Gasparian. So I am so incredibly blessed by all these different things. And what happens is I want to keep like a little kid, to keep that experience of still being excited. Raviji, the great Ravi Shankar, Pandit Bharat Ratna, Ravi Shankar, maybe the greatest Indian musician of the whole time, um, always had that thing. He was 90 something. He was interested in finding out new artists and who was doing what. This is freshness thing, that God has blessed me with and I want to keep with. Many of them I made thinking that I could honor the traditions I was studying from. Many of them I made out of necessity, but at the end, they end up being such incredibly special, unique instruments that I remember having even missed a flight because they wanted to force me to check them as luggage. And I said, nope, I will not be able to replace this guy who I spent 10 years. No, no, I will not be able to do that for this guy or this guy. You see?
Wow.
These are unique instruments, Dan. These are unique.
Do they all have names?
Oh, yeah. This is the Rakiba because I call it the Ravi Shankar King Bansuri. This is my King Bansuri in D.
See, this is where we run into trouble. I feel like there's a story behind every instrument, and we could be here for.
So we need to do this again.
We need to do this again.
Yeah, please. I'd love to do that. Yeah. Anyways, I will finish with what we might start the next one, which is the beauty of these things. The beauty of these things.
Man.
They're so unique that in my hands, I can do things nobody else in the world can do, and I can get sounds nobody else in the world can produce. And the same way they are unique, irreplaceable, and precious. You, Dan, you're unique. My manager, who is Danny, is special, and anybody else looking at me now out there are irreplaceable. And in the hands of the Creator, I am convinced He will get music out of each one of you in a way nobody else in the world can do.
What a message, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Is there any way you could play a little piece to end this one? Is that possible?
You decide which one of the three you want me to play. You tell me.
Oh,
quick.
Middle.
Okay. You choose the one that I played in my preferred soundtrack of all times, over Dune and over everything, which is the Passion of the Christ.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the flute I played and the scene of the Garden of Gethsemane.
Now I'm going to be listening to that all day, the soundtrack.
Listen, that came from above. If you ask me to play that again, I will not be able to because I'm a vehicle. This sounds cliche, but it's true. I become as transparent as I can. When people pay me big accolades, I tell them, listen, it's not me, it's God. That's the truth. Because I know my limitations. And they go like, oh, you should be able to learn how to accept a compliment. I say, you don't understand. I'm not denying that I've worked my back off. and I've burned my eyelashes, and I keep practicing, and I keep developing things, and I keep inventing new things. Literally, what I try to do when I work very, 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 very hard is to make sure that I am the least possible obstacle then and get out of the way so that God can do his thing through me.
And now I've got more questions.
Yeah, let's do it next time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I give you a word. My pleasure, dear.
People can follow you on X and Instagram. Is that it?
Yes, and Facebook and all that. I can send you the info. You can add me later, please. I would appreciate that very much. It's being an instrumentalist in the age of AI and and all that.
Yeah.
We appreciate really. Whatever our friends, and you know what? The truth is, man, I'm in God's hands. He's doing amazing things. Dan, I am appalled at the response of, man, this thing we put for the Game Awards announcing that I'm going to be part of that. The thing's already like 300,000 plays combining Instagram and Facebook alone, without counting X. Without counting TikTok, because I'm not in TikTok. It's like, what is this? I'm just saying that I'm going to play. Again, it's not me. I'm serious. I don't think I could ever be able to come up with a strategy that would yield results like this. So that's why I have no other option but to recognize there's a higher power at play, and I have to recognize it. That's it. He's not being fanatic. He's being realistic.
Thank you, Pedro, for your time. Have a wonderful day, man.
Thank you, my dear. I need to go practice now. I need to go practice the thing I'm going to play, because I'm playing a lot of different things, bro. Listen.
I can't wait, man. I'm so excited.
One thing I'm going to tell you. I hope the cameras capture me, because there are things they're going to have to really pay attention to see. That's all.
Interesting. Okay. That's an interesting tidbit.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. You let me know later what do you think how it went. Okay. I
can already give you my review, 10 out of 10, and I haven't even seen it. Thank you, Pedro.
No, you're biased. You gotta hear first.